Live from America's heartland, this is the Daily Truth Report with your host, Noah Christopher.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Daily Truth Report. And returning today on screen is somebody we haven't talked to in a while, Patty Greer. Patty, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's great to almost see you.
Yes,
You're like the invisible dude. You're the only one I don't get to see.
Well, it's not fair to people, Patty. I'm too handsome. I have to stay off screen. I can't do it.
Yeah. I actually got a quick peek, and you are definitely painfully handsome.
Oh, you stop it. All right. All right. Speaking of that, let me get you bigger screen. There we go. That's a lot better. And welcome back to the show. It's been so long since we've talked, probably, close to maybe 9 months, I would guess. A lot has sure happened since then. It seems like,
oh my God.
I mean, we're just we're going by in dog years at this point. I mean, it was only a month and a half ago, I think, at the most, that we had the assassination attempt on President Trump, and it feels like that was a year ago. So wild times we're living in.
Indeed, and I feel like August has been a mega cleanup month, where even Zuckerberg confessed. And I don't know if they had to squeeze him, like a towel to get the last drop out, but he's definitely squeaking about the level of lies that we've had to live under, and that he was forced to do it by this administration that's trying to continue. And your website is so great now. I don't have to deal with any of the old things that I did, all the glitching. I just want you to know your shows are popping right up for me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see that, because pretty much everybody telling the truth has gone through unbelievable suppression. And all the people I work with, all the influencers like you, have large audiences around the world that love you, trust you, and know that you do the research to only suggest stories that you believe are true. So I love your newsletters every day, and I tap the title so that I can see the whole line. I don't know how you have that much time in a day to lay out stories that long, that many, but well done. And I'm guessing that Evo might be a little help for you. Has it been?
It has been probably for 3 years now, ever since I met you and Chris and the whole team. So it's been fantastic. And in fact, I'm just looking over here on my desk. I've got a bottle of it sitting on my desk. I always keep one here.
Yep, good idea.
Yeah, well, thank you for saying all that. That is our mission. That's been our mission since 2015. Is just to get the truth out there without censorship and without the mainstream media spin and bias and all that stuff. Let's just tell people what's out there. And so that's what we tried to do. But you're right. We had 1.5 million people on Facebook and in a Facebook page and group that we had built up from nothing. And right before the 2020 election, Zuckerberg just deleted us. Just poof, gone. They didn't even try and tell us we violated any rule. There was no warning, no ability to appeal, just deleted, and you're gone. So, very strange. His public confession in that letter, I don't quite know what to make of it. Why is he doing that at this time? Do you trust it? I don't know. But until he gives me back my 1.5 million page, he's suspect in my book.
Well, he's definitely going to be suspect forever, because he gave in. He dropped the knee, or whatever you want to call it. But it was at a time when he needed C60 Evo. He needed to have sodium pentothal. And instead, he took the money and put it in his back pocket and bought another yacht. I don't know. I'm exaggerating by yacht. But we do know that we have been living through unprecedented times where smart people have to almost be quiet because we're insulting the dumb people. And I'm not saying it as a judgment. You got to be pretty unsmart to not understand what's going on and how close we are to communism if we choose to vote that way. And it stuns me how many smart people I bump into that really don't have a clue. Mm-hmm. And when I heard a really classy 42-year-old lady say to me, "Don't talk politics," I was like, well, okay, I'll wear my flag instead. So I wear my flag instead, and I drive a golf cart around town. I got a big flag there, and I pretty much, it's like, if I try not to say it, I'm going to wear it, because, right? I mean, we've got to show up and do something. We can't just sit on our butts anymore. And the wonderful thing is, I'm not a whistleblower anymore, because when I was 10 to 15 years ago, I got whacked 3 times. I got poisoned twice, mercury, uranium, and then I got hit with a directed energy weapon. I'm one of the few people that could actually say that truthfully that survived. I did survive. And most people around me are like, I can't believe where you're getting your energy. It's kind of rude to say, but in a bottle?
Mm.
Spoonful every morning. But I'm holding up the olive oil because it is the one that's been used in all the peer-reviewed studies. But truth is, which I always tell, that bottle's almost empty because I do take it. But every morning I start my day with C60 Evo organic MCT coconut oil in my coffee. And the reason I use this is because I will never forget. I do coffee every morning, kind of crawl to the kitchen and make this huge mug. It's the silver bullet. So I put enough in it that it's going to be like brunch for me. And I go hours without being hungry. But it's because I've got this Evo in it and all organic butter, cinnamon, local honey, and Evo. And it keeps me all day long. I don't remember the last time I got tired in the middle of the day. But for me, it's about research. I love how many links you post because for me, that's 8 stories. I trust you and I'm going to listen. So I think it's another reason why we love working with you is because you use the products. And I don't think you'd be using them unless they worked for you. Your audience trusts you. Is Evo like something that you take daily?
Yeah, and I say this all the time, but I only work with people or talk about products that I personally use or that I think are going to help people. And in this case, it's both. I've been using your stuff. I think, like I said, I think it's going on 3 years now. Tremendous stuff. I'm not a doctor or scientist, but I more from a testimonial than anything. Just I know it's helped me feel better and sleep better. I think the sleep is the biggest one for me.
Awesome.
You wake up and you just have that feeling where you've really slept well and rested and ready to go. Not like groggy, like if you take melatonin or whatever, but feel like you're ready to go in the morning. So that's the biggest thing for me. But we kind of jumped right in, Patty. Maybe people have seen our prior interviews, but tell me what you held up the bottle. We're kind of talking about it a little bit, but for people who've never heard of this before, I'd never heard of it until about 3 years ago, and then I heard about it. It sounded amazing, and I found your company and tracked you down because you were, by all of my research, you were the people that were really doing it the right way and a way that I could trust. So that's how I got connected with you. But for people who have no idea what this is, they're just kind of hearing that you and I both love taking it every day. What you're not a scientist either, but
Nope.
what is it? I mean, what is this product? Where did it come from? What does it do for you? I know you've got a bottle of it there. You can put it in your coffee. You can put it on your salad as an olive oil dressing. But what is it, Patty? Explain it just in layman's terms.
You bet. It is a miracle molecule. I call it a miracle. It won the Nobel Prize in 1996 for excellence in almost every application. And at that time, they were using it for industrial purposes, such as tires, ink, batteries, photocells. And it was excellent for everything they chose to use it for. So what it is a molecule. See this little shape? That's a buckyball. And they've been around since prehistoric times. They used to find little bits of C60 at the edge of volcanoes, but they couldn't get enough of it to be able to bring it into humanity and share it. So our lab is owned by Chris Burris, my partner, and Robert Wong, my other partner. And when they were in college, their professor told them, you guys are really smart. You're mechanics, you're scientists. You should figure out how to make carbon-60 fullerenes because it's worth $6,000 a gram, which at that time was worth more than gold. And so here's 2 young guys in college, and they actually went to work, and they created this huge multi-thousand-pound metal reactor machine that burns graphite, not graphene, graphite rods at the heat of the sun in an inert chamber with no light, no heat. This thing burns hot. And so they figured out how to make carbon-60. So they opened their lab in 1991, and they've been selling to research institutions around the world for all those industrial purposes. And when you're selling to a research institution, they're going to test the bottles. They're going to test every product you send. So if you say, here's some olive oil and ESS 60, it's got 0.8 milligrams per milliliters to 0.85. And here's the MCT, and it's got this amount. And so they test it when they receive it. Our lab tests every batch before it goes out. We know what we're selling, and they get what we sell them. We, unfortunately, in 2022, when everybody got that flu threat, and we all had to hide in a corner and stay 10 feet away from our friends, we decided to buy all the other products online that were the name industrial grade, which is C60. We are the C60 Evo because we are the evolution of the C60 industry from industrial grade to ESS 60, which is a different cleaning process, and it's guaranteed. Not guaranteed, but we say it's made specifically to be for humans and pets. We can't say the word guarantee. We can't say the word heal anymore. We can't. I mean, there's so many words. Thank you for the statements have not been evaluated. Luckily that we have not been bothered by any of the agencies because we run an immaculate lab and we've been doing it for decades. We are also the lab that's been presented in most of the peer-reviewed papers on carbon fullerenes because we're the ones that have been making it the longest. But now to evolve the cleaning process to be no longer industrial grade, but made for humans and pets, that's what's different about C60 Evo. And we do it in 3 different oils, and we maximize the concentration levels to the most that they can be. And what most people don't know is that different organic oils are going to have different thickness. Most people would think that, but for that reason, they're going to hold different amounts of carbon 60 or ESS 60 in our case. So we have avocado oil that holds 0.6. The olive oil holds 0.8 milligrams per milliliters, and the MCT, no matter how much we put in the mixing urns that go for 3 weeks nonstop, it will only hold 0.35 milligrams per milliliter, which is half as strong as the olive oil. But I love it in my morning coffee, so I just put in twice as much because I want the buzz. And when I say the buzz, I get really clean energy all day long. I don't get the from coffee. I get this really cool mellow buzz that just kind of keeps me going all day without a lapse middle to late in the day. When we do shows, a lot of times we go cheers and we take a shot of the olive oil, and then I'm super pepped up. But you don't want to take it at night because for a lot of people, you won't sleep. When do you take yours?
I'll take it in the morning and the afternoon, but usually not past afternoon.
And do you find that you've been able to do deeper, more thorough research because you take this?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
I can't say because that was silly, but it encourages us to have more endurance, I think.
Yeah, and like it's like anything. Sometimes you notice it more than when you stop taking it. So sometimes I recently went on vacation and forgot to take a bottle with me, and I think it's those times when you realize, oh, okay, I'm missing a little something here, because you kind of get used to a new normal when you're taking it. But well, Patty, let me share your screen here because there's so much, and I think the testimonials really is what's powerful for me. So I know you've got your own story we can talk about in just a minute, which is pretty incredible. But just pulling up your website here, I'll put a link to this down below the video. Got our logo at the top here, so that's how you know you're on the right page. And we can also got a deal here where you can put in a coupon code and save 10% off your order. So make sure people know about that. But what I wanted to scroll down to was down about here. Some of the things that you have on here, some of these studies, and I think this is maybe when they studied this in rats, but a 90% increase in lifespan, increase for osteoporosis, joint flexibility, mobility at the cellular level, increased mental acuity. I mean, just some kind of wide spectrum things that people report when taking this. I mean, it kind of, one thing would be enough, but it's kind of like all sorts of different angles. Here's that same 2012 study where mammals lived 90% longer, died without tumors. I mean, really some incredible stuff on here.
And I'm proud to say in 2012, the Paris Bhakti study with the 90% increase in lifespan of the lab rats is literally the longest test results of any lab animal's extension of life in history. We hold the record
Wow.
90% for the longest extension of life of any tested product. For me, it's equally important that they died without tumors because,
Mhm.
needless to say, we are all dealing with a lot of threat of reasons to get the big C.
Mhm.
And I don't even get sick. I mean, I love the fact that not only is it a mega antioxidant, but it's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant. Now, that's ad hoc study. In a peer-reviewed study, it was only 125 times stronger than vitamin C. So, needless to say, you're going to get sick. You feel sniffles coming on. Most people go and hit some vitamin C. I tell everybody double up your Evo or get on it. But the antioxidant value is tremendous. The fact that it helps you mentally and spiritually to stay calm and focused, to me, is the miracle. And Chris is my scientific partner, so is Robert. But here I am. All I am is testimonials and a lot of talk. I'm not a doctor. I'm somebody who takes the product and has for years. And I know that it saved my life. I am one of the only people that can say I lived through the end of ufology and I'm still here. So, yeah, I absolutely swear by the products. My whole family's on it. And my mom is 95. I almost feel guilty continuing to send her the Evo because all of her friends are losing it around her. She had a stroke. She's gone, you know. And here's my mom. She goes to Breakfast Club and most of her friends are nowhere near the mental capacity she's got. You know, she just read a book, 300 pages in 3 days. And so she wants to talk about the book. And everybody's like, can't hear well, can't, you know. She's so powerful in her brain, and I swear it's the Evo. She was smart naturally, but yeah, it's
That's
amazing. And her skin is like butter because she uses the C60 Evo advanced facial serum. This is all natural. I have had almost every friend I've given a bottle to has called me the very first morning and said, "Oh, come on, it can't work that fast." Yeah, it does. So
yeah, that is good stuff. I've used that before too. I like that. Well, I've got our little disclaimer on the screen here. I popped that up, but you know, we have to do that just
oh yeah,
for compliance purposes. And that's why I think the testimonials are so powerful because, you know, look, I'm not a doctor or scientist. I can't tell you what cures something or treats something, but I can read, you know, testimonials from people that say, hey, this has been my experience. And so that's what I think is so powerful. And I'll tell you, interesting, funny timing. I was just last night, I was working on a story again about the FDA, and you know, it's almost like a badge of honor to say these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA, because when they do get involved, they tell us stupid stuff like, "You're not a horse. Stop taking ivermectin." And
yeah.
boy, did that ever turn out to be bad advice. I mean, we knew it at the time. We told everybody that, you know, it's ridiculous. Ivermectin is a Nobel Prize winning drug. It's been used in humans for 20 years. Safer than aspirin. Just wildly deceptive to suggest that it was horse medicine, but that's what they did. And so, you know, to me, you know, a rubber stamp of approval from the FDA is not exactly a ringing endorsement in my book. So, but
No.
we throw that up there. We play by the rules, and that's fine. And but you know, it's almost like, I always say, whatever the mainstream media is telling you, the truth is usually 180 degrees from that. And so, you know, if the FDA doesn't like something or hasn't reviewed it or doesn't care to look at it, I don't know, maybe it might be really good for you.
Well, interesting ivermectin story. I've got a wonderful doctor. I just call her and tell her what I need. And she called my script into Walgreens. So I went there twice. They didn't have it ready the first time. The second time, they hardly had anybody working there. It took forever.
Mm-hmm.
But I called on the phone. I'm like, I really, you know, I don't live in Boulder, like in the city, and I'd rather not come down again. Can you help me and make it happen? And sure enough, the third time I went, I just sat there forever. And they said they had some reasons that were just stupid. So needless to say, I wrote my doctor and I said, I think Walgreens is just over the top, not going to do it. And we got to laugh because it's ivermectin, which has been legal forever in so many places and highly recommended in so many honest countries. So she just called it into a compounding pharmacy and they're going to be shipped to my door. So we're in such an interesting time where if we just use our discretion and ask the right people, we're going to be getting ahead. Yeah, look at their stock.
That's their stock price. I think it's at a record low, or at least a multi-year low. Imagine that.
When I see the pharmacists and they all look really young and really DEI infused, it's why nobody came and answered the buzzer forever. And if they're going to spend less and get all the people from other countries that are here for fun and to have a better life, this is what's going to happen. America's waking up. Thank God for Elon buying Twitter, because at least we have one media channel and truth. And probably there's a few more, but everything else is pretty risky. And that we have to watch our words so darn carefully is a sign that we're still not quite done. But the fact of what's happened in this month is remarkable. The cleanup, in my opinion, with Zuckerbean being forced to confess, with Bobby Kennedy Jr. joining Trump, Tulsi Gabbard powering up Trump. You've got like real serious winners that are putting themselves together for the team for America now. And I don't care who tells me, oh, but Trump, this and that. It's like, read his executive orders. Get over the personality. I don't want to listen to him being redundant, bragging about what a great job he actually did. I want to read the executive orders. What is his real intention? Oh, wait, he just did another speak. He's telling us what it is. What's Kamala's intention? Like, what? Oh, Beyonce's coming. Woo, woo, let's go. Oh, right. Wait, she didn't come. Anyway, what an amazing time to take C60 Evo every day. I don't freaking care about Beyonce not coming or Camel Toe doing her little dance with Mr. Waltz. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, that is pretty. The dance is pretty cringy.
The whole thing is cringy.
Well, Patty, we were talking about testimonials, and I think you have a pretty big story with your surgery and everything. I was wondering if you wanted to tell that story.
I do.
Yeah.
2 surgeries.
Sure. Yeah. Tell us about that.
2 surgeries in the last 8 months, from the attacks on my body by shitty humans, excuse my language, by naughty humans. I, by the end of last year, could no longer walk. I really got wounded, and I kind of just kept going because the Evo, I was feeling good. And I've been bone on bone walking both hips for years, but the lubrication of the Evo gave me 2 years extra where I just did well. I didn't really feel like it was urgent. My chiropractor is just looking at me going, why are you tolerating this? And I'm like, it really doesn't hurt that much. So all of a sudden, though, by December, I was screwed. I literally had a walker in my house and my walking poles when I went in public. I'd pretend I just got back from the Himalayas instead of I'm old, I'm wounded. So I tolerated it until I couldn't. But I finally found the right doctor to replace both hips, which I did one at the top of the year and the other one 9 weeks later, because the first surgery was incredibly easy. I was like, how could it be this easy? My stitches like closed right up and and they gave me all these drugs for pain. And I went, do you mind if I just do the Evo and a little CBD? And they're like, up to you, you don't want to be in pain. And I wasn't.
Wow.
So here I am. I'm just going, how can it be this good? 9 weeks later, did the other hip. And I had a really good attitude because I think the Evo is keeping me super balanced. Now, I don't do hardly any drinking and I don't do drugs. So for me, it's Evo and it is CBD for what, would be pain pills. But I also have CBD cream for the stitches. I got by like flying. I got by with flying colors. Both surgeries. And I found myself on the air 5 days after surgery doing shows. Like I started back up. My partner's like, you sure? And I said, yeah, I think my brain's back. So from the chest up, I was like really good to go. I got right back to work. And now I'm dancing. I'm hiking. I am loving life again. And I'm calling it round 2. I just hit 71 years old. My skin has come back to younger skin, but my attitude is like mega comeback tour.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Well, that's what I like doing here on the show is just having people on like you and letting you tell your story and and talk about testimonials and, you know, things that can help people. I want to get the word out and tell people about it. So, you know, I don't want to ever feel like, you know, I'm trying to pressure someone to buy something. I'm just out here telling people what has worked for a lot of people and letting you know about it. So, and I think we already mentioned this, but let me go back to your page, Patty. And I got the link up here at the top you can go to, but we'll drop a clickable link below the video wherever you're watching this. But just want to let people know that they can, you can actually get a couple discounts if you want. And again, I'm not here to push you to buy something. I just think it's a good product and it's helped a lot of people, and I want to help get the word out. So if you want to try it, make sure you put in this coupon code at checkout. It's not the cheapest stuff in the world, Patty. I mean, I know you guys have it's expensive for you to make it, and so it's you know, it's not the cheapest thing you're going to buy, but you know, for your health, it's priceless. But
It's priceless.
So but one thing you can do is you can save 10% off with this code right here, and then I think if they do a subscription, they can also save more with that. Is that if
Yes.
you do one of these? Yeah, there you go. And you can you know, I think 20% on the subscription. And I think Patty even tells people, you know, even if you just want to buy it once and try it, you know, sign up that way and then log in afterwards and cancel it if you want. But you know, get the discount both ways, and that we can save you a little bit of money there too. Anything you want to add to that, Patty?
Yeah, we encourage everybody to sign up for a monthly subscription to save 20%. And you do that when you're purchasing your items. You just go for the subscription price. And that way you get a nice discount. You can try it. And if you don't love it, you call us or write us and cancel. We don't ask questions. But truthfully, after 5 years, 53% of our daily sales are resubscribes.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many resubscribes for years, which is a testimonial in itself. It says the product works. Now, when you think a 4-ounce bottle, which will last a month with a 20% off, is $75. And 2 bottles of supplements, and I usually buy 8. I used to buy 8 different supplements, you know, thinking that I needed all these different things. 2 bottles of supplements is enough to get 1 bottle of Evo, and another 10% off when they use your code. So now it's $67.50 for a 4-ounce bottle that's going to change your life if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And the only way I say if you're lucky is if you're smart enough to grab your spoon, which everybody in your audience is. Grab your spoon, pour some Evo in it, take it before noon, and if you don't feel different, I'll give you your money back. We really have had the most wonderful response from people around the world. All of you amazing influencers that take our products, have audiences of many, many thousands of people, and they know you. They trust you. And if you're taking it, they're going to know that it's probably worth a try for them. When we say expensive, that is a comment that people think, but truthfully, it's all organic oil. It's a miracle molecule that's still today worth more per ounce than gold because it's really hard to make. But the most important thing is there's all kinds of industrial grade C60. And you'll see that all over the internet, but there's only one lab that evolved the cleaning process to become ESS60 for humans and pets. We don't sell industrial grade for ink, batteries, tires, and photocells to people, but a lot of companies do. We only sell ESS60, which is the evolution of the C60 industry. Really important point, and you'll notice the difference if you tried other products to get the good stuff. Great for pets, dogs and cat formulas. With the dog formula, we put a little bacon essence, all natural. With the cat formula, we put in salmon essence, so the animals love it. Mm-hmm. And the benefits that people are getting from skin and hair are remarkable. So, yeah, pet products are at the end.
There you go.
Yeah, the dogs and cats, I mean, tear-jerking testimonials. A lot of people have said, we thought we were going to have to put our pet to sleep. We got another year. He's still bounding instead of crawling up the stairs. We had to carry him. I mean, really delicious testimonials. And dogs and cats don't lie. So some people have given it to their pet, seen the results, and then bought it for themselves. But when you've got a product that you can feel the day you take it, that's progress.
Yeah. Well, they say, you're gonna pay for your health one way or another, either, at the hospital and with the doctors when things have gone wrong, or upfront preventative, staying healthy, that kind of stuff. And, I do, I love going to the chiropractor. I love taking your product. There's other stuff that I like too. I mean, I like to be on the proactive side, and, I'll pay for the chiropractor. I'll pay for, other stuff. But I'd rather try and keep healthy and stay in the game than, find myself laid up in some hospital bed. So that's always been my view. But
Yeah,
preventative.
Preventative.
Yeah. I mean, those bills from the doctor's office certainly aren't cheap either.
Well, how about vet bills? I can't believe how many people I've known that just got their cat back and it was $4,000 last week.
Yeah.
I
I've
mean,
heard. Yeah. I
that's
know.
ridiculous when you could hopefully put a few drips of this on their food, and you don't have to go see the vet as often. I can pretty much say that's probably the case, but we're not allowed to say it.
Well,
I have a brand new product I'm really proud of. It's the C60 Evo Rich Body Cream. It's at the top of your page there. This is brand new on the market. Everything we do has the ESS 60 infusion, and the scent is tangerine, and it is so fresh you could slap it. But
so
it smells so good.
So, the other stuff, obviously you put on your spoon, take a swig of it, you can eat it. The stuff that you put on your skin has similar effects when you apply it to the skin, then, basically.
Yes. We even have ESS 60 lip balm, because literally it works for every part of the body. I've never found a product that does this. But the other thing that's really unusual, and we asked Chris in the last show, how is it that it affects the mind?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is it that we're getting this balance? And he explains that our body is full of cells, and cells are full of mitochondria. When you clean the mitochondria to the point that the ESS 60 does, what you're going to have is healthier cells, and you're going to have a lot more energy. A lot of people that are super toxic, I was really toxic when I started because some jerk put uranium in my garage, and I didn't know for 6 weeks, and I almost died, but didn't. And so I had heavy detoxing to do. And I found that the sweats were unbelievable because this made me detox so quickly, so intently. So when some people start taking it and they're all clustered up with toxins in their lines, you might get a little queasy, but then all of a sudden your lines will clear and you'll be like, oh my God, I feel different. So with August and the fall, the autumn being cleanup time for the country, I encourage everyone to do cleanup time in your physical body, because you're going to benefit really well from something this easy on a spoon in the morning. I literally still have my buckets of supplements, but I'm terrible. I don't take them. I take Evo.
Mm-hmm.
And I've survived 2 hip replacements with major healing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I'll end with my testimonial then from a little different angle. Obviously, I take the product and like it, but to me, equally powerful. I think I've been working with you guys for maybe 3 years or so, something right around there. And like I said, I only like to talk about products that I personally use, or I think are really going to help people, and so that certainly fit the bill here. But there've been other things over the years, not many, but 1 or 2 over the years that, I thought this was a cool product, or, cool service that people could enjoy. And maybe it started out good, and then, they just didn't run the company well, and I started getting complaints. And so I eventually, there's been 1 or 2 things I've had to stop talking about. But I don't think that in the 3 years that we've worked together, I don't think I've ever received an email from anyone saying they were unhappy with your product. I mean, not a single one. And I know we've certainly had a lot of people go over and check it out and join that subscription program. So I think that actually, now that I think about it, is maybe the best testimonial of all, at least from my angle. So, and I love to see that. I mean, I want to help people. I want to help people by getting the news out, getting the truth out. That's what we've been doing since 2015. And then, along the way, talking about things that, have helped me, or that I like taking or using or whatever. And so when I get complaints about those, it really makes me upset, and I feel like I've misled people. But with your product, not a single one. So absolutely fantastic. Keep up the good work over there. You and Chris. I know we'll have Chris on again at some point in the future. I know we've had him on several times too. But tell him he's doing a good job. Keep up the good work with everything you're doing, and I hope people are able to test you out and see what they think.
Thank you. You know, we don't get very many complaints at all. We don't get very many returns. My favorite return, you have to send us a photo if the bottle is broken or anything. This lady sends us a ran over by a truck box, and the 8-ounce bottle of Evo just spewed all over the inside of the box. So she sent us a photo, and we're like, of course, we'll replace it. And then she wrote us back. She goes, I hope it's okay, but I've been taking the box and rubbing it all over my body for days.
Oh,
so,
boy.
You know, if that's the worst of it, I can't complain too much.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, Patty, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank
It's
you.
been far too long. We'll have you back on again soon, maybe with Chris next time, and we'll get into more of the science of things. I'll put a link down below too for people who, if this has piqued your interest, but you'd like to hear the science of it. I'll put our last interview with Chris below this one, so wherever you're watching this, you can check that out if you'd like to go into the details. But this was just a fun one to talk about testimonials and stories and tell some personal stories. So thanks for doing that, Patty.
Thank you. Truth will set us free.
Perfect. That's a good way to end it. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye.
Hello, my name is Chris Burris. I'm a founder and proud owner of a US-based company, C60 Evo. I've been manufacturing the perfect carbon molecule since 1991. The perfect carbon molecule, which has been shown to support the well-being of thousands of customers, was discovered in 1985 and won the Nobel Prize in 1996. And that isn't even the amazing part. In 2012, researchers published the results of what ended up being the single longest longevity experiment in human history. The short version of the study is the test subjects, Wistar rats, given the C60 Evo formula, lived 90% longer than the control group. And unlike the control group, they all died without tumors. You probably want to know what such an amazing supplement can do for you. Let me first share our most consistent testimonial. Our customers report taking the product in the morning, they report mental focus and energy during the day, and then better sleep that night. Frankly, who couldn't benefit from a better night's sleep? The medical community certainly understands the benefits of sleep. Augusta Health reports, and I quote, "Sleep helps control our metabolism and weight, promotes stable moods, helps prevent cardiovascular diseases, boosts our immune system and function, increases knowledge retention." End quote. Basically, it supports our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Angelina from Florida says, "I'm full of ideas and sleep like a baby." Jolene from San Diego, "I've noticed increased energy, better mood, and tons more motivation. To sum it up, I feel like I'm in my 20s again." So if you're interested in this perfect carbon supplement, visit NOAA's landing page, www.c60evo.com/We Love Trump. That's C60evo.com/We Love Trump. Don't forget to use the code EVNOAH, EVNOAH, for an additional 10% off of your first order.